And the more we can actually cherish what is being offered, and not just the thing that happened that convenienced us or that met our needs, but actually the message that was behind the giving, the more filled we can be. Hello, friends. Welcome. I'm Matthew Pilling, Chief Overthinker with A Pilling Perspective, and this is video 5 in our gratitude series. Thank you for following along so far. Today we want to overthink a little bit more about what we started talking about in video 3. Video 3 was about understanding the cost of what other people give or do for us. And we weren't talking in that video about financial cost as much as we were talking about understanding the offering that they are making for us. And in that video, I shared a story about my mother in a moment when she was fighting cancer and going through chemotherapy, going way out of her way to take care of some of my needs. And I talked in the video about how that opened my eyes to the cost of what she had done. In the decades that have passed since that happened, I have had a lot of moments where I've really thought about that. And one of the biggest questions is why, when she was going through what she was going through in that moment, would she bother to put forth that kind of effort to reach out to me? And the only answer that ever comes back when I get into thinking about that question is that she did it because she loves me. And it's funny because I was spending a moment there telling her how horrible my life was and how unloved I was. And she didn't say, "Honey, I love you." She did something that showed me her love in a way that changed my life, in a way that made her love for me unquestionable. And I realize not everyone is going to have that exact same sort of experience, and I don't want it to be that we have to have someone who's in dire circumstances, who goes way out of their way for us before we start to feel the love that they have for us. And I don't think we have to. I don't think there need to be extreme circumstances. Granted, those circumstances did put a point on it that opened my eyes in ways that I don't know if they would have been completely opened otherwise. But I think as we start to understand the cost of why, or not just why, but of what other people have done for us, of what their offering for us is. And it may not be that they're directly making an offering to us, but when the people that we work with, for example, show up and actually bring their best to the game, they are doing that in part because they want to contribute, because they want to give to the team, because they want to respect the rest of the people they are working with. And while those words aren't directly the same as love, they're not that far from it. A lot of us spend a lot of time in today's world feeling unloved, unheard, unrespected. And I don't know that we are unloved, unheard, or unrespected, as much as I think sometimes we aren't seeing things for what they are. My mom spent years sacrificing as a mother, and it wasn't until in a moment of her suffering, she made a pretty big sacrifice to reach out to me that I finally started to really get it. But I could have opened my eyes before then. I don't think we have to be in those kinds of scenarios to be able to feel that there is love or respect or admiration or simply desire to contribute and to help and to serve in the actions of other people. And if we will slow down and do what I talked about in video 3, where we try to surmise a little bit of the cost of what they are doing for us, it will open our eyes to being able to see the motivation, the feeling, the real offering behind what they're doing. And the more time we can spend there, and the more we can actually cherish what is being offered, and not just the thing that happened that convenienced us or that met our needs, but actually the message that was behind the giving, the more filled we can be. And if we then can parlay that into actually, like I talked about in other videos, feeling the feeling of thanks and gratitude before we express it, they will feel differently because of them feeling seen by us. And so all of a sudden we can move from feeling unseen to receiving the gift that they're giving, and because of that feeling seen. And as we express gratitude to them, it can also help them feel seen. There are bridges that can be built by simply deepening our gratitude that cannot really be built in any other way. And so as you spend time together with family, friends, whoever you're spending this holiday with, spend some time considering what are the messages behind the things they're doing for you, and let them know how you feel about it. And then come back and share here, how has that changed how you feel about them, how you feel about yourself, and how you feel about gratitude in general. As always, hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. If this is helping you, point other people to it. I will see you next time. Thanks for being with us.